Well, sure. Well, anytime you're engaged in pretend, in an occupation of pretend, you're ultimately always lying. You're always trying to portray characters and reality in some way that you've invented. Ever since the formation of Hollywood, when basically 7 semi-illiterate Jewish immigrants crafted Hollywood and ultimately recrafted Gentile society back to an American audience and then redefined culture. That was an invention. So we do that in the same way, movie to movie, I guess. So I guess maybe that's what Fellini's referring to when he calls us liars. I don't think we're liars. I think we're just pretenders. But with this, I do the television show House. We shot an entire episode on that very camera because we wanted to get it into small places, and it looks just as stunning as a feature film. So it is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. People are less taxed by the cost of film. When you're making a big budget movie, film is your least expensive aspect. You're dealing with special effects and actors and all kinds of other things. But when you're making low budget movies, it was always a problem. How much film can you shoot? Well, here you have an unlimited amount with the new digital technology, high definition cameras, 5K cameras that you can buy for $10,000, $20,000. I'm aware of Spanish directors, and there's a few that I've met here at the festival, but I'm not, because I've been abroad shooting for the last year, I'm not as up to date as I would like to be on filmmakers. No, you usually can't. You've got to have a good script, or at least rewrite the film as you're shooting it. I do believe a film is written 3 times, once on the page, once on the set, and in the cutting room. So I do think you can take a bad script and you can work it while you're shooting it, but you have to really be on top of it and make sure that as you shoot each scene, the script that you're shooting is good, because it really starts with a script. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, a movie as epic as Lord of the Rings is every bit as amazing, but no more special than a masterpiece like Let the Right One In, which was, clearly done for a lot less money. If you make a great movie, very often when you spend a lot of money on a movie, then it's marketed more and it reaches a bigger audience. There's also audiences that will show up for the spectacle. But a great story is a great story, and there's a lot of classic movies that were not particularly expensive. I usually generally develop things from the beginning, but occasionally I'll work from a script that's already been written, but once I get a hold of it, I start doing my own rewrites, and I very much make it my own. So whether it's a script that's already existing or an idea that I've come up with, I'm always going to sit down and rework it to make it my own. And I always like to have a writer on set with me, so when I make changes or have new ideas, I can always workshop them with that writer. The movie's going to be on my tombstone. No, I'm very, no. That's cool, thank you. Appreciate it. Cool.